Hey coach, Coach Julie here, IYCA brand executive and high performance business coach. I am coming on to share with you another cornerstone of the most successful coaches. Now, this one is probably one of my favorites because it is a skill set that we all already have, but we can continue to hone and grow and work on and sharpen. But it's also, I think, in many cases, taken for granted and overlooked and underutilized. So I'm really excited to share it because I truly believe that when we bring awareness, right, then we have the choice on what we do with that awareness. And this cornerstone has levels deep to it. And I'm going to go at a high level over those levels with you. But if you are a coach, a trainer, a performance professional, a parent, right? If you are in this industry in any capacity and you're working alongside athletes, I want you to consider for a moment what it would feel like if they felt truly heard, seen, and understood. All right. Have you ever been on the receiving end of truly feeling heard and understood? Okay. It's a very, very rare thing. All right. So the skill set that is a key cornerstone to the most successful coaches is they have the ability to operate and listen at a deep level. All right. So their natural tendencies, some of the best coaches are innately great listeners. And that is not by coincidence. All right. But here's the reality. Okay. So many of us take this skill for granted and we forget how powerful it is. So I hope this serves as a reminder. So let's take this a few layers deep. What do you guys say? All right. So there are three levels to listening. Level one is listening from the lens of what's in it for me. Okay, what is in it for me as the coach is level one. Now, this is a very selfish lens of operating and listening. However, it is very much accepted, and absolutely there's a time and place, right? So if you are in counsel or in a coaching session with me, you need to be in level one listening, okay? I don't, you do. So wouldn't it be true that your athlete would actually need to be in more of a level one position where you're in a level 2 or 3? Now, level 2 is a layer deeper than level 1, and it is a them focused listening. In other words, the person receiving the information, the person that you are speaking to and trying to understand better, is the one that matters in that conversation and connection. All right. Have you ever been in one of those conversations or relationships or dialogues where the person is solely focused on you and you feel like you're like, man, I matter to this person. I feel connected. All right. Because they're actually listening to me in a way that nobody else has. Right. So it does bridge and build a level of connection that is often intangible, but highly, highly impactful. All right. And the third level of listening is a true skill set of listening. It takes practice, it takes reps, and it takes awareness first and foremost. And that is listening from a global perspective. In other words, here's what I mean, because we've all experienced it in some capacity. Have you ever been in that relationship or in that conversation where when you are in connection and conversation, all else kind of drips away? That you're just kind of immersed, right? You're silent, you're understanding, you're connecting, you're hearing what they're not saying. Okay, you're actually paying attention to some of the nuances and the movements and the body language. It is a universal form of listening, and it is so incredibly rare. But when experienced, it is so incredibly impactful. Talk about buy-in. Talk about transformation. Talk about willingness to walk through the hard to overcome, that your athletes will start to feel connected to and understood and like they belong. Can you imagine what kind of ripple effect that in and of itself can have, even beyond the game? All right, so obviously I get jazzed up about this. So level 1, 2, and 3, but here's the reality, coach. We are all humans, all right? So you are gonna float from 1 to 2 to 3 and 2 to 1 and 3 to 2, right? You're gonna float between all of them. That is human nature. What I'm asking you to do is be willing to be in the practice of recognizing when you are in that level 1, when maybe it would be more applicable and more impactful if you were in level 2 or level 3, when you could actually connect with your athlete and understand them and let them be seen, felt, and heard so that they are convicted to get out there and give it their all. because they feel a part of something greater than themselves. All right. Now, you don't have to believe me. Look, here's the reality. Some of you, right, you might be saying, she crazy, right? And, but some of you may saying, like, that's not right. Like, I got to show up. I got my agenda. I got my practice plans. This is how it's going to be, right? But I'm going to ask you, maybe just for a week, experiment. Test it. Be in the practice of trying something new. What would it be like if you showed up and you fully listened to your athletes? What would it be like if you asked them, how was your day? And not just leave it at that. Go deeper with them. Understand them. What would that experience be like for them? My guess is probably pretty life-changing in some cases, because it's probably pretty rare that they're getting asked those questions. And can you imagine if they feel that connected to you and feel like, man, this person cares about me, how they're going to show up for you? Okay? So just flip the shoes around, right? How would you change if you felt connected and bought into a process because you felt like you belonged at a deeper level, at a higher level? All right, I can go on and on for days with this, but listen more this week. Listen more to your spouse, your significant other. Listen more to your kids, okay? We get to practice on those that are around us, and guess what? With this cornerstone, everybody wins. All right, coach, go out there, practice this skill. Would love to know how it goes for you. And as always, thank you for all you do. We would not be the IYCA without coaches like you. Now let's go make some flippin' impact this week. All right, guys, we'll see you soon.